Hi, my name is Jeremy Ashworth. I am the pastor of Circle of Peace Church here in Peoria, Arizona. We are a Christian church located in the suburbs of Phoenix. I've been recording these little videos primarily with my church in mind, but they're public and they're available to anybody. This is not a sermon, it's not a Bible study. These are just the kind of conversations that you and I might have if we were sitting down on the couch together. Years ago, my wife Mary and I went on a trip to Ireland and Northern Ireland. We went with my grad school, and the goal of the trip was to learn about the conflict in that area. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, you can just go to Wikipedia and search for the Troubles. Just plug that in and that'll get you started. But there was ethnic conflict, there was national conflict, there were protests and riots and police brutality. So as a part of that trip, we met up with several people who had participated in some of the really big protests back in the day. And one guy in particular, when we sat down with him very informally, we asked him, "Why did you go to the protest?" And he was really clear. He just said immediately, "I went for the women." And we were like, "Excuse me?" And he said, "Oh yeah." He's like, "I believed in the cause and I thought the cause was good and all that. But listen, if you wanted to meet people, if you were single and you wanted to mingle, you went to a protest." And in the conversations with him and with other people across Ireland and Northern Ireland, we gradually came to realize that different people went to protests for different reasons, right? Like some people were 100% political. Some people were 100% there to just find a date. Some people were protesting and they were committed to being 100% peaceful. Other people were not. Like they showed up to fight. Like they brought weapons. Some people at those protests were really well informed. They were really well disciplined. They had very clear policy objectives. Other people were just bored and angry, and they didn't know what else to do. So the point is that different people came to those protests for different reasons. I guess I'm thinking of this. It's all kind of come back to me as the United States experiences, our own kind of turmoil right now. And when I look at people in the United States who protest, like when I look at a crowd, I don't know everybody there, and I don't have to. I already know that different people are there for different reasons. I just look at a crowd of people, and I don't expect 100% of the people to be 100% on the same page. Now, I want to be clear that does not take away what is, for me, the central moral issue at stake here. For me, the central moral issue is the value of Black people. It's the value of people of color. That's the core moral issue. And from a Christian perspective, that's a no-brainer. I'm just saying that when I look at a crowd of people, I know that different people are there for different reasons. And you could take one person out of that crowd, ask them what they think. It doesn't mean everybody thinks the same thing. The part does not always represent the whole. And I know that from Ireland and Northern Ireland. And to be honest, I also know that from church. But Don't tell anybody I told you this. When I walk into a church service anywhere, like anytime, I walk in the door knowing that the people in that room, like different people are there for different reasons. 100% of people are not 100% true believers in any church. Like, it's just true. Some people are like, I believe 80% of this. Some people are like, I believe 50% of this. Some people are like, if they're honest, they'd say, I don't believe very much of this at all, but my family brought me here, or I like the music, or I'm not sure what I believe, or I'm really committed to an institution or a tradition. Any church, anywhere, some of the people who are there are just hurt and confused and angry, and they just walked in the door. Some people are angry and they're looking to, get into an argument. That certainly happened with the crowds that were around Jesus. And I guess at least part of this, this is a good thing, I think. Certainly when it comes to church, just because a person walks in the door with one agenda, they can change their agenda, right? They can change their view, they can change their heart while they're there. So 100% of the people aren't always 100% on the same page. Different people are there for different reasons. Some people are just there for the women or the men or whatever. Like, and then I think, I'm totally a true believer, but I also met my wife at church, so God and girls, whatever. I guess in this moment that we're at now, I want the main thing to be the main thing, meaning, as Christians, the value of Black people, the value of people of color, that's the core moral issue here, and that's not up for debate. As a Christian, the value of Black folks, the value of people of color, that was determined at creation, and that was determined on the cross. But I also want to remember that when I look at a crowd of people, anywhere, anytime, that different people are there for different reasons. Thanks, friends, for tuning in. Take care.